As always, checking levels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I consider to the people who kind of like complain about levels. That's us.
Yeah.
I think of it as the 10 minutes that they talk about on, or the 10 minutes of advertisements at the beginning of every like major podcast.
Yeah.
Like really, you're only dealing with 3 minutes of us checking audio levels.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Did you want to do headphones to check?
All right. Testing me. Testing me. Testing me. Testing me. All right. Testing me. Testing me. I'm a little bit hot. I'm a little bit hot.
Little hot.
Little bit down. All right, now you.
Oh, me. I'm Nick, and I'm talking. This is what I sound like now. I mean, it's what I've always sounded like, but testing.
Oh, yeah, you're really quiet.
Well, this is farther away from the mic than I've ever been.
Oh, now you're a little... Yeah, well, then move the mic closer.
All right, yeah, because I just don't know if I'm, like, too loud more often than not.
All right, continue testing you.
All right, testing. I am doing this one. Talking. Thank you for joining us for our obligatory 2 to 3 minutes of audio adjustment. I mean, we could be spending our time talking about Nature Box like other podcasts, but not until that's
weird. You go up and down in volume level.
That is weird. Let me see. Because typically I have it almost like right in front of my face, like this.
Wait, my volume level went down.
Right.
That doesn't make sense at all.
We are going to figure this out.
My volume level went down. Right. That doesn't make sense at all. We are going to figure this out.
I love how we have an actual Bodie McBoatface in the chat.
You know, I think I was just listening to the echo that was going on. I was listening to the phone through the mic.
All right.
I think that was going on.
Do not disturb. All right, so ready to go?
Yeah, I guess we're
all
ready
right.
to go.
Welcome to RCR podcast number 34, Solo, a Star Wars argument. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
And just for this week, for now, I just kind of want to try it out that if anyone asks a question on the super chat, I am going to screenshot it with my phone so that we can come back to that question whenever, because we do have things to talk about this week. So we might not be able to get to every question right away, but we do want to be on that good foot, Johnny on the spot, about getting to the questions that people ask us, because there's a tremendous amount of guilt that goes along with, like, if you miss a question.
Right.
But thank you everyone, whether you're donating or not. We're just glad to have you here. So
totally.
Yeah. So you finally saw Solo over the weekend.
I did, and I checked my watch twice when I was watching the movie.
All
right. Did not need to be 155 minutes, and also, all right, I started to not care about most of the characters, usually about the hour mark. Like, who's the actor who's playing?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich. I watched him smirk his way through 155 minutes of not a Han Solo movie.
Yeah. What
I was expecting seeing a Han Solo movie, I expected that DL-44 heavy blaster to be going off porno style. I expected the Millennium Falcon to be doing something other than getting beat up. That was okay.
Yeah.
Donald Glover was a saving grace of the movie, doing the best Billy D. Williams impression.
Oh, man. It was on point.
The entire thing. That was the highlight of my movie.
Here was my only issue with Donald Glover's Billy D. is that the fact that he's doing a straight-on impression draws more attention to the fact that Alden Ehrenreich isn't doing, like, a Harrison Ford impression.
Right. I saw kind of a little smart-ass... campy Han Solo not fucking shit up.
I mean, that's kind of... I want to say that's kind of the point, in the sense that okay, the opening of the movie before the time skip is 15 years before A New Hope, and then the movie, like the main plot of the movie, is 10 years before A New Hope. Yeah. So he's not entirely there yet, and this is the problem that everyone had when they announced this Han Solo movie, was that it was a bad idea because for him to, like, you would have to negate the arc that he goes through in New Hope, because he starts off that movie as kind of like a loner jerk, and, you know, in this movie, he has kind of an arc that's somewhat similar to his A New Hope arc, but I think like they leave it open for the possibility of like a sequel, because there are some unanswered questions, major unanswered questions.
Look, it's been out. We're going to talk about real stuff. Why is Darth Maul in this? At the very end, I did not need to see that.
Yeah.
I get it. In the expanded universe, he kept himself alive after being cut in half, and then he had a spider body or prosthetic legs.
Yeah, prosthetic legs.
It can't be a Star Wars movie if there's not a lightsaber at least once.
Yeah, like, I mean, we know pretty conclusively that his dick doesn't work anymore. Like, we know that about Darth Maul. Yeah. Because the lower, unless they've revolutionized prosthetics in the Star Wars universe. But it's one of those things where, okay, well, here's the one thing that I have to give credit to, is that the original directors, Lord and Miller, they were initially fired from the movie because, like, they're comedy directors. They made the Lego movie. They made, the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies. Basically movies that shouldn't have worked, but they worked. That, like, they made them work somehow.
They made screwball comedies, and they made bank.
Yeah.
They made their money back and then some.
And so they hired them for this because it was kind of a bad idea to make a Han Solo movie. Now, the problem is that when they turned in their initial cut, like about 3/4 of the movie, the studio realized that they were basically making a screwball farce. Like, they were basically making Spaceballs, and that's not what the studio wanted. So they canned them and brought in Ron Howard to basically do the budget inflated to a point where this movie can't make money anymore, despite the fact that it bombed. Like, even if it hadn't, like, this wasn't going to make money because they essentially had to film the movie twice. And what you end up with is so to get back to like what I'm giving credit to is the fact that I can't tell, like, you almost can't tell that it was a stitched together movie in a way.
Didn't know that.
That you can tell certain things from like, I think the whole L3 robot, like the fembot, would have played better in the Lord and Miller version, because I feel like she was meant to be a funny character, and that there was meant to be a sort of like a deadpan relationship between her and Lando. Yeah. And then, you realize, like, maybe they're banging. I don't know, because Lando is like pansexual or omnisexual or whatever it is that,
look,
he'll bang anything.
I'm okay with that.
No, I'm okay with it too.
I'm fine with that. Like, all right, that's an area of space that we haven't explored before, is fucking hot robot love.
Yep.
Why not? Like, if this was a real Han Solo movie, there would be robot banging. This is the seedy underworld of... I was so torn after watching this movie. I came back here and I just watched clips from The Big Sleep because I wanted to see what good fucking dialogue was like.
Oh man, good noir.
Yeah.
And there is nothing in the world like good noir.
No.
As a kid, I remember being like 15 or 16, and instead of paying attention in class, I would write noir movie scripts, like literally handwritten interior office day, sunlight comes through slits in the Venetian blinds.
Yes.
It's something about just world building in a noir setting, and I would love like a Star Wars noir.
I would love a Star Wars. Han Solo would be an okay star. Look, we need you to solve this.
Yeah,
like, we're hiring you. This is a hit, or we got to smuggle this stuff. First of all, okay, he's a great smuggler. He doesn't smuggle shit in this movie.
Yeah.
The whole escape pod on the Millennium Falcon, that's not what the mandibles are for.
That was a retcon that didn't really need to be. This is the part of the problem with these prequel movies, is that they're answering questions no one wanted answers to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
a Corellian YT-1300 freighter is meant to push cargo containers. That's what that little V is on the front of the ship is for. It fits in to these cargo containers, and it freaking pushes a train.
It's basically like a galactic forklift, basically, or more or less. Right. It's just...
No, it's... God damn it.
My Star Wars!
Donald Glover was amazing. Whoever's playing Chewie is amazing.
Yeah.
Chewie did not use, for once... Chewie never uses his bandolier.
No. Does he even have the bandolier in the movie? I forget offhand.
He gets an alternate bandolier that looks like it had grenade shells in it, but it's... Chewie and the bandolier is like, from Trailer Park Boys, the guy who never spills his drink.
Never watched.
I know people in the chat are going to say... hey, Burgundy Burnout Super Smash Brothers.
Because it's E3 and Nintendo is having its press conference right now, so they're revealing like all the real like shit. And one of the things is they announced like a new, or I think the rumor is like there's a new Star Wars game coming out. I know that like the new Battlefront game is doing a DLC that features like characters from Solo and levels from Solo, and it's a weird thing where it's self-evident.
Hear about the video game.
Yeah, it's I would like all of this more if it were each of these spin-off movies were kind of occupying a different genre. Like Rogue One was kind of a heist movie, but this was also kind of a heist movie too. In a vague way of like they're trying to get the coaxium.
Oh, my coaxium.
Give it back.
Oh no, you double-crossed me.
No, it was I who double-crossed you.
You got a villain who I don't care about, just Uncle Touchy Veins.
He has a great Star Wars name, Dryden Voss. They're using all the really cool Star Wars names in these spin-offs, like Cassian Andor from Rogue One. I'm just like, these cool names. But no, I love, like, for me, it was the best Star Wars movie of the 21st century because you're adding up the prequels and the sequels and Rogue One, and what's left is Solo. And I thought it was like really close to the spirit of the original trilogy, even though it had this like grungy sort of cinematography that was kind of darker, more darkly lit than it probably needed to be. And I liked Alden Ehrenreich just because he wasn't doing an impression, but he was kind of like embodying the character during his naivete. Now, I remember when I first saw it, and I mentioned on the podcast like a week ago, and since we're now like talking like full spoilers and everything, the part that like the fanboys were going to be so mad about is how he gets his last name.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't care. Like, I thought it was funny. It's played for laughs. It's kind of like in the end of The Dark Knight Rises where Joseph Gordon-Levitt reveals that his like middle name is Robin.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird, or that his actual name is Robin. It's one of those weird fan servicey nods. Like, you don't really need that, but there are a bunch of little like tips of the hat. Like Lando saying I hate you and Han saying I know. Or the fact that like you actually get to see the Kessel Run, and that it actually kind of explains why he uses parsecs, which is a measurement of distance rather than time, because they're not using time to get through it. They're shortcutting distance wise. Something that should take, it's basically the equivalent of saying like, I found a way to get here in 12 miles rather than 24.
There you go.
And so, and it's because I use a wormhole to do it. It's like, but is it impressive? Well, no, you used the fucking wormhole, but it is what it is. Well. It is what it is. I mean, but yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I also saw Ocean's 8 over the weekend, which I was completely expecting to kind of be a weird Ocean's like 11 and everything knockoff, which, I mean, it is that with like women, which I'm fine. But
Timothy Cobiella, how'd I do?
Yeah. Will Mr. Regular pronounce my last name correctly? Cobiella. Well, I mean, I think we're good on Solo, so if we wanted to start answering questions.
Gabe Thompson, thanks for $5, Dave.
Thank you.
In past podcasts, you've quoted No Country for Old Men a couple of times. Yeah. I was just curious if you guys read any Cormac McCarthy and your opinion. I haven't. Have you?
I have. I have read, let's see, No Country for Old Men, The Road, and Blood Meridian, which is one of the toughest, like, tough in a gruesome kind of way. It's basically like this Western and, you know, the heroes being kind of chased by this naked guy. Like, I can't, who like hugs people to death. It's weird. Like, I can't explain this book to people, and there have been rumors for years that they were going to turn it into a movie, and this book is unfilmable. Like, it cannot be done. I don't buy for 1 second that it can actually be done. But they made a movie out of The Road that I thought was fantastic. It had Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings. And also the I mean, No Country for Old Men was better. I think No Country for Old Men is one of the best, like, as far as accuracy goes, adaptations of a book.
Yeah.
Because they literally just took the book, and I would be shocked if that... I mean, I think it won the Oscar for screenplay, so it had to have had a screenplay. But it wouldn't have surprised me if they just took the book and opened it up and were just like, okay, let's do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timothy Cobiella, thanks for another $2 for saying, there you go, got your name right. This message is held for review.
This person, Wizataria, asked why I never talked about my personal YouTube channel. I have a personal YouTube channel. Like, if you type in Nicholas Roman into YouTube, and you'll get a photo from like 7 years ago when I was like way thinner and super hot. No, I'm kidding. Actually, no, I changed the profile picture, so it's not that anymore. It's but I put these videos of food reviews with my nephew, my 10-year-old nephew, Nate. And it's literally like our show, Limited Time Roman, where we review limited time only foods. And it's just a way of sort of cataloging home movies in a way. Because he talks about, like, you know, wanting to sort of be a YouTuber like me. And I'm like, no, you don't. But also, it's the thing of just the videos are up there. It's kind of, you know, cool to have and have these memories, because we've been making these videos for like 2 years now. And it's just seeing the progression and see him like kind of grow in confidence. Because I realize being made to sort of present things will help build your sort of, you know, like you grow as a speaker, you become less
there you go, yeah.
Caught up in whatever your own head is. And yeah, they're just kind of like there for family. I share them with family. I don't most of them are unlisted, and I think we have like maybe 47 subscribers, but like he gets to brag to all his friends that he has like 47 subscribers on YouTube. So it's like this cute little thing that we do, and that's really all it is. But yeah.
Dieter Lascelles, did I drive Steph Schrader's Lemon's car while I was in Austin? No, I didn't. It wasn't running, but I did drive her Lancer, which is her daily. It's a Mitsubishi Lancer GTS, and I did drive that on the track. I think that was the scariest car because it was a normal car with sticky tires on it. So I'm going to talk about that in the review, which is coming up not next week. Next week there is no official review. This week is my week off from editing video. Nick is working on some stuff.
Yeah. The Stinger was the season finale for our post New Zealand season. Or wait, or are we at the mid-season finale?
We're at the mid-season with that. There's like 2 more cars, and I'm gonna just slice into there.
All right.
After RCR Austin, because technically it's not summer yet. It'll probably the Centurion will be the season finale.
Yeah.
And people who are paying attention will get a hint on what that car is. Anyway.
And happy belated to Steph Schrader, because Facebook tells me it was her birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Steph.
So, yeah. Which is funny because I saw your Instagram post about like and then hers about her being at the DMV, and I'm like, oh yeah, what a hell of a way to spend your birthday, like in line at the DMV. But let's see.
Adam Pierce, thanks for the $5, Adam. Okay, I know it's not solo, but opinion on Ocean's 11 versus, or Ocean's 8 versus Ocean's 11 and 13 versus OG Ocean's 11. By the way, Ted Nugent called. He wants his shirt back. Mine?
I can't imagine
golf
it's
shirt.
mine.
It's probably mine.
Well,
oh yeah, I'm kind of wearing a polo shirt similar to Brad Pitt at the end of Ocean's 11. I love Ocean's 11. It's a great movie to watch on airplanes. That's a nice heist movie.
I love a good, that's a nice heist movie. They kind of, and I'm gonna snap the next one until we're
for Randy the Fat Man. Thanks for $6, Randy.
Yeah. But Ocean's 8, my problem with Ocean's 8, and this is probably a minor spoiler, but realistically, there's never that one part in every heist movie where the job is falling apart and like the job is in jeopardy, where like something that's supposed to go right goes wrong. And everything, like, there's no tension in the movie. There's never for 1 second that you think they're not pulling this off. But there are like, little things that are different than the 11 movies where 11 movies have this real, like the Ocean's 11 series has this really like testosterone energy for what, and of course, because it's, 11 dudes. But Ocean's 8, it's like there's almost not an equivalent girl power energy and so I kind of enjoyed that, of like they're not shoving their politics in your face. And I mean, I guess the movie kind of suffers from like one of each, where we're teaming up, we're getting an Asian woman, we're getting an Indian woman, we're getting a black woman, we're getting, and that their only character traits are really their nationalities.
Really?
And
we got a new one. We got two new ones to screenshot. All right,
so
Ardrick Jason and FUCCWIT.
But all right, and just to finish up, but I did really like 8, but Ocean's 11, I still love that movie and it's still perfect. And I still don't get the complaint about the whole Julia Roberts thing in Ocean's 12, where they need to like get in to somewhere, so they use Julia Roberts' character and have her pretend to be Julia Roberts. Because to get
I didn't see
it was like one of those.
12.
It's not a very good movie, but it's still it is what it is. So to get to the screenshotted questions, let's see. Randy the Fat Man asks, thoughts on Upgrade or Won't You Be My Neighbor? I saw both this weekend and haven't enjoyed anything that much since in a long time. I haven't seen Upgrade. I'm anxious to see Won't You Be My Neighbor. I have a friend who I spoke to last night who actually has never like watched Mr. Rogers before in his life or in her life. And I'm like, well, Fred Rogers was an amazing man, and he said, having not known Fred Rogers in person, but I mean, I can't, like, if I had to choose one person to represent Earth, like the best of us, like I'm just gonna pick Fred Rogers. This next one, there isn't a single track in my state. What do I do? And I accidentally cut off the name, but thank you for $5 to that.
A single track, like a racetrack in my state. What can I do? Get really good at go-karts, or like a track. Well, there aren't any tracks really around here either, but that doesn't mean you can't find autocross. Look up whatever Auto X is in your community, in your state, and usually you'll find one. It may be like an hour drive, but autocrossing could definitely be a thing, which is something I should do, but I don't know. It's the whole not wanting to be an amateur that makes me not want to do autocross. But I go there, I'm going to hit every single cone. And, after my bit at Harris Hill, it proves how little I know about car control, but I want to know more about it. There used to be some up at the Frackville Mall, but the Frackville Mall is demolished now. Anon Moose, thanks for $5. Nick is going to screenshot your name.
Yes, I am.
It's an E3 question. Yeah, I mean, look for autocross in your area, and that'll help you to try to find a race, like a racing experience.
Yeah.
For you and your car. Sorry, I blew my nose on mic. What am I talking? What am I doing? What's the next question?
Fuckwit. Thank you for $2.99. I'm not calling it. That's literally his screen name. How do you fill the void after graduating college?
You're going to volunteer for stuff, and the void that I felt was, and referring to undergrad, I had this moment when I graduated from undergrad and thought, oh my God, I don't know anything. Like, all I know is how to be a student. I know how to take tests, I know how to study, and I know how to write stuff down.
Yep.
Oh my God, I have no practical skills. I'm no different than I am in high school. I'm no more employable than I am in high school. So I just got entry-level jobs. I'm like, crap, I went to college for this, and I'm working at a Boscov's. Oh my gosh, what were the last 4 years? Now, of course, you look back on it, but really all I knew about writing, the real writing I got done, was grad school stuff.
Yep, yeah, there you go.
I learned so little in undergrad. I learned how to edit by goofing around with the friends. Yep. Thank you, Shadow of
Shades of Cascades.
Yeah,
and
for $2 and screenshotted. Thank you. Gosh, if I could have gone back, I would have just, knowing what I know now, I would just audit classes. I wouldn't give a damn about that piece of paper. I'm here to learn skills.
Yeah.
So I would just audit nothing but writing classes. Or I'd go in as undeclared, and I'd just say, look, I'm just going to take writing classes. Well, you're not going to graduate. And, mom and dad would be pissed. But, like, if I had, knowing that I'd have the super brain that I'd be able to do this, we'd do it, like, 5 years before.
Yeah.
Starting now, and, I'd be golden.
I think most parents would rather have a child who has, like, a good job with employable skills than just to have the piece of paper.
Yeah.
My realization was that gen eds were kind of killing my passion for everything. Of, like, those gen ed requirements were, like, a freaking tapeworm just sucking the life out of me. Historical geology. Anything maths.
Fucking gym class. What am I doing taking math? I had to take 2 maths. I had to take this online math class, which I cheated. Well, what? I'm doing it in my office. Like, I'm a graduate student having to take an undergrad math class to fulfill something. So, and nowadays, every single web page has a free algebra completer that'll show you all the work. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. This isn't a money one, but I wanted to answer it before.
So the answer is volunteer.
Yeah, volunteer.
Volunteer and do stuff after college.
Just keep yourself busy somehow.
New one to take a screenshot of. Yeah. Deacon Rothschild. Thanks for $5.
Thanks for $5. But this one was is a Honda Grom a good starter bike?
Yes. Now a Honda Grom comes in 2 flavors: Honda Grom and Honda Grom. Yeah, Honda Grom, definitely a good starter bike. I thought you said Ruckus.
Oh.
No, definitely Honda Grom. That thing has a top speed of maybe 60 miles an hour, depending how much you weigh. Maybe 65. Some people claim 70. They're full of it, unless they're really, really tiny. And laying down on the tank. Honda Grom, perfectly fine. Yeah, perfectly fine starter bike. It's going to be very easy to throw around. You won't be intimidated by it. And if all you're doing is city riding, couldn't think of anything better. No, wait, I could. Honda CR F230L or Suzuki, DW200, which is one with really fat tires on it. Also a 200cc bike. Honda Grom, I think, is 175 cc's or 150 cc's.
And Spaken asks, can I autocross with an 88 horsepower 1993 Corolla?
You can autocross with anything. So yes, you can autocross with that.
You gotta believe.
Yeah, typically the smaller and the lighter and the more underpowered, the better the autocross machine makes.
Yeah.
Of course, the best is always Miata, isn't it? But Miatas teach you everything.
All right, and let me get to the screenshot. Okay, Anon Moose, $5. Thank you for $5.
Thank you.
Did you guys watch E3? Also read Homo Ludens.
Did not.
Crazy
watch
Kojima has an odd taste in literature. I watched the new question.
Marcus Small. Thank you for $5, Marcus. Yeah. We'll get to yours soon.
I watched the trailers after the fact because the live E3 presentations are the most cringeworthy shit on the face of the planet.
It's like they're the new Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah. It's true. It's all true. Oh god, that's great.
I'm gonna tweet that.
You should.
All right.
Especially while like E3 is trending. I thought so I watched
my phone.
Like, I watched the trailer for Cyberpunk 2077, and I felt like I needed a cigarette after that. And I don't even smoke. It's just an open world game that takes place in a cyberpunk city in the year 2077, and it's just like, it's hard to explain. Other things, I saw the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser, the Spider-Man PS4 thing, which is basically like Spider-Man Arkham Asylum. Oh god, the Last of Us 2 trailer is a masterpiece of like in-game cinema. That is like, I'm convinced that, you know, this series has possibly the best, or it will have the best storytelling out of everything. There was a game that I can't think of, Tsushima or something along those lines, that it's kind of a feudal Japan. It's like Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan. And then there's something else that I'm forgetting. Oh, Death Stranding, that Hideo Kojima game that makes absolutely no sense. There have been 3 trailers now that have been in excess of like almost 10 minutes, and we have no idea. It's like Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead is carrying this baby that, you know, I don't know, maybe someone can explain this, but it makes no sense. Looks cool though, but then again, like, I don't even know. It's almost like extreme hiking in a way of like in a post-apocalyptic setting. But let's see, next one. Shades of Cascades, $2.
Thank you.
What comes after Wingadinga? Malaise a Daisy?
Malaise era is still Wingadinga. Now this is an interesting question. Where does Wingadinga end? I think after Wingadinga is Beepin' Boopin', because that's the 80s. Yeah. That's full on 80s. However, Wingadinga cars.
You know, that dance wasn't as safe as they said it was.
I think I reviewed a car recently that's going to come out in a few months. Is Deacon Rothschild says, answer my goddamn question.
Wait, which one?
What one was that?
Oh, I didn't see anything. 1 second. Okay. Let me mine is a little bit behind, so let's see.
Is there a Deacon Rothschild? I don't know if that was a super chat or
that
not.
One. Oh, okay, yeah.
Did we miss you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, screenshotted.
What was
it was if you want to learn car control, play games like Gran Turismo Sport with a racing wheel. P.S. You're welcome for the fuel for the Falcon.
Oh, thank you so
thank
much.
You for $4.99.
Yeah, it's always really good to have a wheel. And like if you really want to be baller, 3 monitors so you can kind of look out the side of the car. I'd like to have a simulator like that, but I don't really play video games because doing RCR is my video game. And when I think of video games, it's just more of me sitting, and I do plenty of that. Mm-hmm. So I would rather get out and just hike.
It's an invitation like to hemorrhoids.
You don't have to screenshot. CNN, we are the most trusted name in news. Yes. Yeah. That is the best.
Roy Galati, thanks for $5. He just says $5 is best $5. So,
hey. Your $5 is best $5. Indeed it is. Thank you. The answer, there was a question I wasn't quite answering before. While you look for
the Wingadinga. What comes after
Wingadinga? Oh, like crossing my fingers so I remember Wingadinga. Remington Hakurai just throws in $10 with no question. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I don't know why am I screenshotting it.
Okay, I'm crossing my fingers because it reminded me to talk about Beepin' Boopin'. Wingadinga possibly can go all the way to the 90s. That's the thing, because General Motors, whatever platform, the Regal and the Roadmaster lasted all the way until 1990. And that's like Chevy 350 or 307 stuff. Really old smog pump machines. So Wingadinga and Beepin' Boopin' cross. because you can have cars that are like, you can have cars like the the Datsun 240Z car from the 70s, and that's winga-dinga. But then it gets to the Datsun 280ZX, which is beeping booping. and then I think the sell CNN for $1 for $5. He says, thank you for $5, man. Says GTFO CNN. But where will we go for trusted news? So what was up after the winged question?
It was an advice from Marcus McFall, who donated $5 to the advice to the college kid who wanted to know how to handle post grad life. The way to not get the void is to go to school forever.
Some people do that.
Yep. Professional student.
Yeah.
There was a question here that was just a regular one. It was
I don't think that's the best plan, because you're then married. You're putting all your eggs in the academia basket, which means that you then have to live in that world, and then you get into politics of that world, and you can only function within academia, and not much else. And I think you lose practical skills doing that. And because living and working within academia is not a meritocracy, it's by seniority. So you have to navigate those waters with your mouth closed. And if there's people above you who aren't doing their job, well, you're still beholden to them. And that works the same partly in government work as well. Jacob follows, I can't do this last name, PLN with the funky I don't know if is that Poland?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's real or you're just doing that. Would you like to do RCR versus Northwestern Poland plus East Germany Berlin stuff? Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait, let me get that.
It's got to come back. Would you like to do RCR Northwestern Poland plus East German Berlin stuff? If you're interested, I could be your fixer. Thank you so much. We don't have a Eastern European plan, but I'd like to have one.
Yeah.
That's way in the future. RCR North Carolina is not happening because we got a line on a Model 3 who's going to drive to us. So, but RCR Chicago is still happening. So we've got Timothy Kobiela. I'll just start screenshotting this stuff.
Yeah, I'm screenshotting all this because I had a question from earlier that
we skipped.
No, that was just do you guys listen to Alan Watts? Is he truly the wise man he comes across as, or is he just a severely scripted, well-written, beautiful voice?
Well, we're Americans, and we kind of roll over for that. Thank you, Remity Hakurai, for another $5. We'll screenshot your question and get back to you. Alan Watts, well, we're Americans, and that type of posh, educated, well-read British accent is like catnip to us.
It's true.
So, I like Alan Watts. I think he has his definite time and place. He was definitely advanced for the late 60s, especially when he started in 63 or something like that, doing lectures on comparative religion. And it's excellent stuff to fall asleep to.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is, there's just something about, it's like,
so then.
Fresh creamery butter.
Yeah.
Falling asleep to.
Yeah. We got a new screenshot here. Michael Keogh.
It's a follow-up to another the monetized questions, which I'll ask now and then screenshot that one before it goes away. It is what is Workforce 520 for $299? Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Modern equivalent of a malaise era car.
For some, there is none, because a malaise era car is a smog-choked American vehicle, possibly European, but mostly American. That can no longer compete from a performance or handling standpoint. So they focus entirely on ride quality and interior plushness. So they make everything soft. Riding in a malaise era car is like jumping into the ball pit of a McDonald's play place on the first day it opens, because you know there's no poop and pee in there. So no, there is no modern real malaise era cars. If you're talking about like a boring domestic vehicle, then you would talk about something like a Buick LeSabre, or that. Maybe one of the older Malibus. Some of them that maybe are still running the GM 60-degree V6s, who have nothing but just offer its occupants the reassurance that they still control the world through the brute force of their own voting numbers.
And next one, Timothy Cobiella, thank you for $9.99.
$9.99.
I currently drive a 2005 Honda Civic with a manual transmission. It's fun to drive and gets 37 miles per gallon city. Why would anyone buy a Prius?
Well, then how would the world know what a good person you are? Exactly. A Prius is about style. I mean, why would you drive a on the other hand, why would you drive a Chevy SS when a Kia Stinger is really better in almost every way, even close to performance? Well, then you're not a true gearhead if you don't have a manual transmission and an LS motor. Same deal. If I had to drive a while, it would probably be the Kia Stinger. Even though the Chevy SS gets you nods at car meets and stuff like that. So it's all image. If you truly want to save the environment, you get a stick shift Honda with a D series engine. There you go. Yeah. And you're not buying a new car, so something carbon blue footprint.
Yeah. A Prius is performative goodness of just like, good. Look at me, I'm doing my good. Part.
I'm part. It's Prius is the vehicular equivalent of virtue signaling.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Raymond T. Hakurai. I was asking your honest opinion. Thank you for $5.
Yes, thank you.
Honest opinion, and I know you're into Gran Turismo, but what do you think about the Forza series, especially the Horizon series?
I think it's very good. I've played it a few times, but I don't have a console, so I can't really sit next to it. I think it's weird that they have the driver assist on that game that will brake for you. So when it's cranked up high, you just hit the button and then just drive around. Is that the little brother button? I think those games are so good they don't really work without a wheel. And after I got my taste of real car going around a racetrack, I'd like, well, I just do this instead of the video game. If I want a racing video game, I kind of want San Francisco Rush or Cruising the USA.
Yeah.
I want a popcorn movie. Like if I want to have fun if I really want to have some movie fun, I'm going to watch that new Dwayne Johnson movie where it's just Die Hard again.
Yeah. Skyscraper.
Oh boy.
Like that's how you know you've made it on a name on name value as an actor, where concepts wouldn't be greenlit.
Okay, Waffle Jeep came and went.
I got him.
You got him. Workforce 520. You're going to need a screenshot him too.
Yeah. But when you know you've made it as an actor was when you can get concepts that wouldn't otherwise have gotten the greenlit solely because you're attached to it. Yeah. Like people will go see that movie because The Rock is in it. It's like Rampage made a stupid amount of money overseas for no reason other than like, I mean, it had to have been The Rock, and also
a big American blockbuster.
Yeah, well, and they're like destroying Chicago.
There was something like reason. all these kind of dumpy action movies that come and go. They do so well overseas because they're easy to translate. A big monster crushing buildings it speaks a universal language.
Yeah. Let me see. That was the one. Michael Keogh, thank you for $7.99.
Thank you.
Your discussion on Malaise era makes me want one even more. I saw a peak Malaise T-Bird. It was amazing. Very rare in Australia.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Very nice.
Maybe the price may be a bit kicked up. You're gonna have a new one to screenshot here. It's working its way up.
I got that one.
That one. What was I talking about?
The malaise era T.
Oh, another one popped up. You can screenshot
another one
it.
popped. Here we go.
What was I talking about?
The guy mentioned the peak malaise
Oh,
T-Bird.
yeah. In Australia. Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to be a really crappy car that you're going to pay a premium for. But if you like it, then buy it. After all, in New Zealand, that guy bought that, F-body Camaro and loved it. And we all stood around and looked at it because you take a car out of its element and put it somewhere else, and suddenly it's fabulous.
Yeah, like
so
that,
if you like it, go for it.
Like that random Fiero.
The random Fiero.
Waffle Jeep. Thank you for $5.
Thank you.
I'm a new college student looking for a solid, reliable car. I drive an '08 Pontiac G6 and everything but the engine and transmission is going wrong.
All right.
So
what's your budget? I'm assuming this is going to be like a $3,000 car. And the answer is usually going to be a Honda or a Toyota. Hey, oh wait, duh. We made a video about this. Toyota Corolla. But then get a stick shift one. That's the answer. It's a Toyota Corolla. It's a 2001 Toyota Corolla. All day, every day. If you get dents in it, you won't care, and everything's gonna work, man. You just size up the owner, and as long as the owner isn't a dirtbag, the owner is coming out and wearing a shirt. Timothy Cobiella, I'll just answer this one. Will we ever see Matt Walsh again? Yes, we will see Matt Walsh again.
He's great.
Yeah. We just haven't been down to Philly, and he hasn't been up here in a while.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Workforce 520 for $3.99. Thank you so much. Have you considered the CTS all-wheel drive wagon?
I have. I'm not really a Cadillac guy. It's a bit too much car for what I need. Certainly the engine's fine, but it wouldn't make a very good film vehicle. They all come with heavy window tint, and I think it's from the factory and you can't take it off. And because sometimes we have to film into the evening or on days when it's overcast, we need all the light we can getting through that back glass and into the camera. So, no, it really wouldn't work. And plus, that's a luxury wagon. It's not going to have the metal tie-down loops that I'm so horny over.
Yeah.
Fine vehicle, just not for us.
Jacob Kedzierski says, what do you think of Poland/Polish people? Cheers from Stettin, Pozdrawiam.
Well, the place we live in, the mid-state Pennsylvania, is heavily influenced by Polish, especially Polish food. You go to football matches around here, and you're going to find halushkis, bellinis. So a lot of Polish and Lithuanians settled in this area of Pennsylvania. So when people would make like Polish jokes and stuff like that, they would be like, huh? It didn't translate because half of us are Polish around here. So
yeah, there's nothing.
It was just like a joke that never landed. It was like, oh, okay. But it's like you're making jokes about us, even though, I'm German and yeah, so, but it was just part of the culture.
Yeah. And
halushki is like an easy dish to make. All you need is cabbage. I put bacon in it. Because cabbage, bacon, Remedy Hakurai,
yeah, I got it. This next one, Mr. J124, $2. Thank you. Why haven't you reviewed an Eclipse yet?
We reviewed a Eagle Talon that belonged to, oh gosh, living in DC now. Oh no,
name
kind of punk rocker guy. This is what happens.
Not Dominic.
No,
because Dominic's in Chicago.
Yeah, he lives in DC. We went to visit him at his house on the way to the Southern Stab, and we drove his CRX SI, and he has street legal imports.
Corey Dice?
Corey Dice.
There we go.
Yeah. And, so we reviewed an Eagle Talon, which is a Mitsubishi Eclipse. I mean, we'll do another one for sure, but yeah, we kind of did it's a DSM car, so we kind of did one. It's like what? Dodge Stealth or Mitsubishi 3000 GT?
Raymond T. Hakurai, $2.
Thank you.
Aesthetic era car reviews?
Well, you see, aesthetic is a modern interpretation of 1980s mall music lullabies.
Oh,
and
man.
somebody sent me a list of a website which I've been revisiting and ripping the songs and slowing them down and messing up the equalization. So really all you need to do is just cut the bass, cut the treble, up the mid, and just make it all like it's coming through a busted out mall speaker that has no dynamic range at all. So and all the website is Weather Channel bumpers going back to 86.
Oh wow!
Like the music that plays behind your local forecast, but it includes the explanations of what you see, but they're all generic stuff. Like these are the temperatures in your local area, and then like 15 seconds go by, and now the week ahead, and then more instrumentals, and now weather for cities, cities in your area. This is the weather of travel cities you could be visiting. So Jordan Gazer, thanks for $2. Screenshot this right here about the caddies.
There we go.
So aesthetic era cars, I think he means like 1980s and early 90s stuff, but you would have to turn the car into an aesthetic thing, which is a nostalgic view. I think what Tom Mix, who I went to see solo with, and we also did the beer podcast with. He is just confused that I listened to Vaporwave unironically. Really?
What's wrong with that?
It's me understanding Nick's love of wrapping yourself in capitalism of the mall.
Commerce. Yeah.
But I'm now fondly remembering the mall. As all of them go away, they will be elevated now in my mind.
Yeah.
In the way that early 90s cars were just crap in the early 2000s, and now they're fondly remembered, as malls will be, even garbage ones, because now you can't have them. And it's a longing to go back to when I use this phrase so much, but it's so good. It's yearning to go back when God was on his throne. And the, this is a Brian Shoup line, but some people believe in God or Buddha or Muhammad. I believe in the National Weather Service. And by slowing the songs down, you're creating a unrealistic, deep, slow voice that sounds to you as an adult what adult voices sounded like as a kid. So before your voice broke. So there is this deified voice of calm reason telling you about the weather, and the weather is. It's that mythic truth, capital T.
Yeah. Screenshot.
Okay, what's our next question?
The next question is actually not a money one, but I want to encourage people to still ask questions even if you're not donating attached to them, just because, if there's an interesting question, I do want to get to it.
Dawn of the Dead wouldn't work today because the malls are like zombies.
It's true.
Ever been to the Monroeville Mall? No, but I saw it on Dead Malls.
Campbell Walker asks, why do you think that American manufacturers continue to champion cars covered in chrome trim even when it doesn't suit the styling of the car?
Well, they're selling to what people like. Chrome's fancy. I like chrome. It's snazzy. Sometimes that's all people have. In a what's that screwball comedy that Dr. Schwartz made us watch, where the term "No Country for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" comes from a screwball comedy from like the 50s.
Ew.
Shit,
I can't think of it.
Yeah. Okay, we got 2 screenshots to do. Now 4 screenshots to do. Thank you, Peter Cahill, for the $25. We'll screenshot your question as well.
All right, there we go. And gotcha.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm catching Pokemon right now. And then the next question was from Jordan Geisler. Thank you for $2.
Thank you.
Cadillac STSV or Lexus GS460?
Lexus GS460.
Yeah, because they say the STSV is faster, but... and ...
But your butt's going to tell you other things. The thing about some of that GM stuff is that it doesn't age that great. And, another screenshot.
Yep. Ooh, there we go.
Workforce 520 again. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah, you're going to like the Lexus. In the long run, you're going to like the Lexus. I mean, it's going to be fun to have the Cadillac, but Cadillacs have to last a long... Cadillacs have to age for decades before they become desirable again. Like, we're only in the 70s now. We're that's as old/new as you can go before you'd want a Cadillac from the 70s. Oh yeah, Cadillac Eldorado 1979, that'd be cool. But you get like a Cadillac from the 80s and like, this is crap. And then you get a Cadillac from the 90s, like, this is a North Star, this is retarded. Sorry to use the R word, but I was using that in terms of ignition advance and retard, because they had to retard the engine to meet emission standards, and also the North Star engine was a step backward and from what GM was good at, which was building small blocks. Right. DACA Jones, that's another one to screenshot.
Yep, got him. Let's see, where'd it go? This one is... All right, just a quick rapid fire. Miss Irregular, do you have a good playlist of Vaporwave? If you go into like the liked videos for RCR, I think you have some like Vaporwave in there. Yeah, so check that out. Also, 4-cylinder Ford Ranger pickup as a first car. Thoughts?
It's a car, not a truck.
Yeah.
Remember that. Ford Ranger, perfectly fine. But remember, you're driving a truck, and here's another thing to screenshot.
Yep. Coming quick.
And a Ford Ranger has the same cargo capacity as a Ford Taurus of the equivalent year. So get truck out of your mind with a Ford Ranger. You're buying a Ford Taurus that has a bed instead of back seats.
And got this new one.
Yeah,
so back up. Derek Burkhout, thank you for $5.
Thank you.
Asks, I think you may be representing a Prius as only a superficial tree hugger vehicle. I know it gets criticism for lack of personality, but it has value.
In what? Yeah, it has value in the way in its appearance. Look, it can't carry a lot of weight because it's got the big battery pack. It's expensive to make. Yeah, the price has gone down. And if someone wants just a car to just drive, it's fine. It's a fine city vehicle. It's not an enthusiast car, and to me, a Prius is boring.
And it costs more than you really would want to pay for something like that.
There's like a Starbucks tax that comes with it. It's people like it, and we have to I need to accept that there are people out there that freaking love Olive Garden. So why get in their way? You know, I was at Applebee's last night. Why? Because it was next to the movie theater, and Tom and I wanted to drink. And by the way, I thought of you there because there was nothing on tap that was decent. The most decent thing at the freaking Applebee's by the Fairground Square Mall was face.
No.
was Sam Adams seasonal, and it tasted like Yingling to me. And so, but I saw that there was a bottle of Glenlivet behind the bar, and it said, I like Glenlivet on the rocks, and I enjoyed the shit out of that.
It's delightful.
Yes.
It is the most... I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I know that Scotch and whiskey purists are going to be like, oh, but you haven't had, like, Lafroig. Like, for me, Lafroig kind of tastes a little bit like shoe leather, but it's like, you know...
Is that peat moss stuff?
Don't know offhand, but all I know is that it was super expensive at the whiskey bar that's, like, down like a block from me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but anyway, Mr. J 124 $2. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Follow up opinions on third gen Eclipses.
Ooh, see, they don't have a whole lot of aftermarket support, not in the same way that, you know, a Honda or equivalent RSX would have. Geez, those DSM cars, they're niche vehicles, aren't they? Could you get those in convertibles? I can't remember.
I think
as drop tops, they're kind of neat.
Yeah.
But they do live in the shadow of the equivalent Honda SIs. There are Mitsubishi people that will like it, and if it gets your dick hard, who am I to judge?
Peter Cahill, $25. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's probably still one that's still up on there. Thank you so much, sir.
Hey guys, don't really have a question, just keep on doing what you're doing. Some of the best content on YouTube by far. If you are ever on Cape Cod, I've got a few cars and bikes for you to review. Take care. Thank you for your donation, and thank you for the really kind words.
Thank you, sir.
That means a lot.
It does. A question or comment right from the regular chat. Single malt recommendation, Oban 14. It's almost the perfect middle of the road scotch. You can usually catch it on sale for $60. $60 to $70 if you hunt for it. Well, that's a break it out for special occasions.
Yeah.
Scotch. And the thing is, when I told Nick to take the Glenlivet with him, because if there's alcohol in the house, I will work my way through that bottle on a nightly basis until it's gone.
Yeah.
And Scotch is definitely a conversation drink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a writing drink for me. Yeah. I had like a finger of it the other night, and it was just kind of like not even like ice or anything. It was just sitting in a little glass. I was just kind of like sipping and kind of letting it suffuse through my body. It's just like very warm, and now I'm like, oh, I feel creative juices flowing. Even though, you know, in a Hemingway kind of way, I shouldn't really need booze to work, but it's like. It's not like I'm waking up with like a flask under my pillow. Like I've known people like that. It's just, you know, sad. Yeah. And my friend Dieter was like, if you ever need to know more about whiskey, hit me up. I actually, when I went to Rochester and was hanging out with Dieter and a couple other people, there's this amazing place called the Daily Refresher, and they have the most amazing whiskey selection of like almost any place that I've ever been to. And that's where I first like just hit with the Glenlivet. I was just like, hit me. It was just kind of I don't know, I had like 3-4 of those in a night, and it was just like but yeah.
Best vehicle to learn manual on, it's a Corvette C6 with the skip shift bypassed. By that I mean any large displacement V8 will without a short throw shifter will be an excellent vehicle on which to learn manual, because you don't need to rev it. And that's in trying to teach people to learn to drive stick. The biggest thing they're afraid of is revving that engine up, which you have to do with a 4-cylinder. You think small engines are the correct cars on which to learn manual, but it's the opposite is true. You want a detuned V8 with a lot of torque because you can lug them and they're not going to stall. And they tend to rev slower. LSs can rev, honestly, as fast as any double overhead cam. But you can take it easy, and typically they have thicker, heavier clutches. The throws will be longer and more deliberate. So, or a pickup truck. A pickup truck, even with a Toyota with a V6, it's going to be a very long throw. That'll be good. Yeah.
Workforce 520. My best gave $5. Thank you. My best friend has a modded STSV, fantastic track car for the size, but that North Star V8 is fragile as hell. Yep, but beware of old high miles ones.
Of course.
So I guess this is in response to the earlier question about the STSV. And then following it up with
thank you, sir.
Dr. Jones, $5. What was your emotion when you saw you were at 500,000 subscribers? Did you get your silver play button for 100K? It's over there
on the wall.
Yeah.
The 100K meant more to me than the 500,000. It was a nice number. The first 100,000 is the hardest, and maybe 1,000 subscribers is even harder than that.
Do you remember what you said when you first got the play button in the mail?
No, what did I say?
That like part of you just wants to like go to the shooting range or and just kind of say like, see you at 1 million. Like,
nice.
It's just
that'd be cool. But other people have busted those things up, so it's been done. And people, when they come over, they see that it looks nice on the wall.
It does look nice on the wall. It really does. Why did I put my phone away when there were more questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rockin' like hell, make it sound like heaven.
Nice.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, everybody, let's have some fun. Let's see. Going up. Any plans to review a Camaro? Mine's in your email. This is from Brent Barbie. Thank you for $2.
Well, we reviewed a Camaro with a 427 in it, and we did a Firebird, which is kind of a Camaro. I'd like to get my hands on an IROC Z. Thank you so much for emailing me. You know, if as long as it was formatted correctly, your make, model, city, state, and phone number in the body of the email. I saved it. Yeah. I tend to gather cars and set stuff up a few months out, and then as people email me things, I'll just put them in. Unless there's something that I really need there, I just file them. But thank you so much. So yeah, there will be more Camaros.
And this is a non-money question. It's Mark Malinowski. Why do you think the TJ Wrangler holds its value so well, despite being basically a box on wheels with no frills other than being able to drive it to the rails, or drive it to the trails?
You answered your own question. Mm-hmm. It's the last of the true Jeeps. Yeah. It's the smallest, but still the most advanced. No frills. The straight six engine is crap, and you're better off dropping an LS in there than building up a straight six. People used to put Ford 302s in there because they fit, and something lined up really easy with those engines. But you can also, there's kits to put LSs in them. There were the two Jeep people who were on the Smoking Tire podcast who talked about that. But the TJ Wranglers hold their values like crazy because they're tiny, they're small with a short wheelbase, and that matters off road. The new ones are great. They're certainly more comfortable, and they're better on the road, which matters. But the TJs, they were the last of the old technology with all the amenities inside of, you know, a modern-ish early 2000s car. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your question.
Yes, thank you. Looking for the next one because I literally... Oh, all right. Oh, this is not
something to screenshot.
Yeah, I caught that one. Shadow Falcon. Regarding the North Star engine, do you think that was the reason the Cadillac LMP car never did well in the Le Mans series?
I don't think so, because Justin Kramer said you build up a North Star engine, it makes good power, and certainly is that me or you?
Oh, that was you. Yeah.
I got
probably
dishwasher friendly. If you have a race team, anything can be fast and reliable with money. So if the race team had the cash to keep that North Star engine purring away, you know, it wouldn't be that. It would probably be just funding, or they never got the right driver together.
I love.
I think it's the car's fault. There's a new Sam
screenshot. The next two monetized questions tie into each other.
Okay.
Favorite kind of motorsport from Rementi Hakurai. Thank you for $2.
Favorite kind of motorsport is either going to be Supercross or MotoGP, motorcycles. Yeah. To me, that's much more entertaining to watch than cars.
Yeah, I don't really care
Jack McCann.
Yeah, caught him. I don't really care for Formula One.
I don't really. Steph Schrader and all those people love it. I don't really watch motorsports. I'll watch it at the gym. Honestly, when I'm at the gym and I got a TV in front of me, well, first of all, I go to the gym really late, so no one's really there, and I get there and all the TVs are turned to network news.
Mine gym doesn't have any TVs. Oh. Yeah, it's weird.
I change them from network news to like sports, Weather Channel, the other ESPN, and the one in front of me is always FS1. Because sometimes they show MMA highlights. Yeah. And that's fun to watch while I'm working out. And if not, they do like NHRA drag racing, which is the best 5 seconds of entertainment. It's like, the car goes, wow, that car really went. Let's watch another car go.
Does demolition derbies count as a motorsport?
Why not?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. And then the follow-up was, do you see Kia building sports cars in the future? From Sam Hyena, thank you for $2.
Yeah, well, if they own Hyundai, they will... Well, it's probably would show up under the Genesis brand. So, yeah. But will it say Kia? Maybe. But I think Kia will be its own thing. They'll have a... thoughts on a teal 1995 S95? I think they will, but they won't say Kia on it.
All right. Jack McCann, $5. Hey dudes, long time sub. Have to sell my Restomod 240Z soon and get something all-wheel drive. Suggestions? Preferably enthusiastic / sporty, but not broy.
Subaru Baja. You're gonna pay a lot, but people are gonna go, ooh, there's a Baja. There's one sitting at Deer Lake Auto right now. It's yellow. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, there's one for sale right up the road from me. So yeah, that thing, I drove one. I liked it. I'm like, this thing could be nice and practical. I can't have it because it's not a camera car, but you know, hey, 4-door car with a little pickup bed on it. It used to be crap, and now they're super cool and really nerdy. Yeah, man, find yourself a Subaru Baja. You can even find them as turbos.
It's the Costanza. Thank you for $2.
Thank you.
Thoughts on a teal 1995 Mustang SN95 automatic V6? Well, I mean, I have an automatic SN95 V6, and so it's been treating me like really well. I haven't had any problems with it other than like a fan issue, and I replaced the serpentine belt at the last inspection. It was throwing up a code which was just like a misfired piston. And but it's like those little things. It's not the big picture problems that you would expect a Mustang to have. Now granted, a lot of it is upkeep of like, I'm not driving that thing into the dirt, you know. I'm coming here and I'm going to shoots, but and I'm, you know, picking up my nephew and doing all the other stuff that you're just driving your car around. But like, okay, yeah, if I get like a nice stretch of road where, you know, I can kind of open her up, like, sure. And it's a nice car to have. I mean, I reviewed mine for the channel. It's on there, but yeah, I have no complaints and I think it's great. I can't even imagine mine in teal. So that's kind of like an interesting thing to think about. But yours is a 1995 and mine is a 2004. So
Jonathan Picone says, if you need spare Subaru parts, I have an 05 Forester. You can strip parts for free of charge. Well, I kind of need the vent solenoid. I mean, mine's throwing P0457, which is an evap code. Doesn't matter in my county because we don't have emissions, and that's an emissions code. It just means I have to turn off my check engine light like once a week with my scan tool. But I'd like to have it not come back on again. What it is there's a vacuum leak somewhere, and I'm like, I don't want to search for vacuum leaks. The entire bottom of that car is just rusted to hell. And every bolt underneath there, you hit it with the hammer, or you hit it with the impact gun, you soak it in PB blaster. It doesn't. It's stripping out. I mean, busting little plastic connectors trying to fix crap. It'd be nice if someone. I'd take like the vent valve and maybe the PCV valve, but these are, well, the vent valve's like $60 on Amazon or Rock Auto, and but the old one's like rusted into the car. I have to cut it to get it out.
Yeah.
So its little connector is like rusted and fused to plastic. So it's meh. I'm going to just keep turning that check engine light off for another year and then buy a different one.
Right.
I'm so tired of, like, the channel's successful enough. I could just buy a nice car. And I keep buying $5,000 cars because I don't think I'm worth a nice car. I
mean, the new Patreon goals get Mr. Regular an actual nice car.
I could just go out and buy one, but I don't. I keep buying because I think it's not fitting me if I have a nice daily. The Falcon's so much nicer than my Subaru. The Subaru on the outside, I keep it clean, I wash it, I vacuum the inside, so when people get in it, it's nice. My DR650 is the newest vehicle I ever owned at 2000 at a 2013 vehicle, and that thing's awesome. I'm gonna ride it later today.
I think like if there really were like new Patreon goals, like the very first one for me would be get Rogan level audio equipment of just for podcasting.
Yeah, I need a
it's something to consider.
You do or not.
This is a follow-up from Mark Malinowski, who had the question about the TJ Wrangler. He said, thank you for answering. If I wanted to flip my said TJ Wrangler and make money on it, since he got it for $1,500 from a desperate seller.
Whoa! You got a TJ Wrangler for $1,500? All you got to do is post it, and you make like $5,000.
Yeah. Would it be worth the LS swap, or just pretty it up and make sure it runs well?
Yeah, pretty it up, make sure it runs well. It's not throwing any codes. You get under that car, you fix stuff, you vacuum the hell out of the interior. Even if you pay like a guy $100 to do nice detail and buff the shit out of that, just make that shit shine. You got like a $5,000 car there. You got it for $1,500. Jealous of you.
Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, this Goblin Lord, oh Lord, asks personal interest level on wrenching.
So, I don't understand the question.
Like, do you actually like enjoy wrenching? Or
yeah. I like enjoy wrenching. I don't enjoy like being under a car as it showers rust in my eyes. That's the thing. You know, an old rusty piece of crap. It just getting rust in your eyes is no bueno. And really, it's like these dumb plastic parts. I like doing stuff on the Falcon because it's super simple. Like diagnosing annoying stuff on a car that really isn't worth your time. You know, people say, maybe this is from Just Rolled Into the Shop, which is a Reddit channel about like garage mishaps.
Yeah.
And make sure you screenshot.
Yeah.
And Moose.
You got him. And the one before.
There's working on your own stuff when you want to, and then there's working on other people's cars when you don't want to, and that was what someone on that Reddit channel said being a mechanic is. It's doing work that you don't really want to at a time when you don't really want to. I went out there and I wrenched. There's nothing really to fix on the Forester aside from that annoying thing, and I just make it go away with my scan tool.
Yeah. And
the Falcon's fun to change things on, but again, it's just little niggle things. And I like the motorcycle stuff because there's no body work to work around. You get to the engine from all levels. But at the moment, there's no real wrenching stuff to do. And I'm not going to create problems for me to fix. That's a key thing. Does it work? Great. Don't fix it.
Sir Black Pudding, $1.99. Thank you so much. Thoughts on the halo protection system in F1?
I think it's good that they're protecting drivers' heads from rollovers, but since I don't follow F1, I don't really care. Oh, he's limited his visibility a little bit. I'm sure the drivers don't care. They're happy to have a job.
Anon Moose, $2.
I think it's a good thing, yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. He just tells you to get a Subaru Ascent.
Yeah, I want to test drive one. I think Kenneth from Steve Morris Subaru is going to lend us one for a little bit. I think it's a huge car. I like my second-gen Foresters, man. I don't think I'd like a 7-seat SUV.
Yeah, and does it have like the tie-downs? And
either it does or it doesn't. That'd be for most of the time, it's me hauling around dirty through hikers and then just filming stuff. The second-gen Forester is like the perfect size for me. But I'll drive the Ascent. I'm eager to figure out what it is. Yeah.
Kozudo98 asks, did Goldie ever have the gas line issues? Mine decided to be a dick about them.
What do you mean gas line?
I don't know. We'll have to wait for clarification.
It has no fueling problems. Some people said I think there's a plastic thing in the fuel filler tube that maybe needs to be fixed. I just didn't get up under the car to look at it. I need to buy a floor jack. That's something else I don't have. Subaru Forester XT swap, says Walter Cook. Yeah, or I could just buy a Subaru Forester XT, but I'd have to go to SoCal to find that. Every now and again, Patrick. Oh no, old brain, old stain. He lives in San Diego. He's our fixer for Southern California. We went skiing together. He held my hand when I got too high. And, isn't that crazy? I can't remember his name.
It happens. I mean...
I feel so terrible.
A great many things happen. There was a question that wouldn't go through.
That's the dude in blue. Oh my goodness.
J. Cole 613 super chat won't send. I recently bought an 01 SC Buick Regal GS with low miles, already submitted in PGH, as a typically modded car. Should I feel an obligation to keep it stock? For some reason, I do.
I'm sorry, I completely spaced there and tried to think of this guy's name. Who's the guy who helped us out on the Pacific Fister?
Oh, Eric Pedersen.
Eric Pedersen. Oh gosh.
I was like zoning out when you were, because I was trying to get that person's question.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize it because I would have remembered. I don't know. Yeah, this guy just wants to know, because he got an 01 SC Buick Regal GS with low miles as a typically modded car. Should I feel an obligation to keep it stock? For some reason, I do.
Well, if you do, then you do.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, your car, your canvas, do what you want. If you want to keep it stock, and keep it stock. If you want to mod it, mod it. You own that piece of property, and you are free to do whatever with it as you choose.
Yeah.
Your car, man.
Mr. Minimalist asks, do you ever fear crashing the Falcon?
No. I think about it, but no, I don't fear it. It's one. I think the thought of crashing the Falcon is the same asinine logic that boomers use when they ride their Harley Davidsons with no helmet. Well, I'm gonna die anyway. I guess I'll die faster. It's like, you're dead anyway if you crash. But the thing is, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, people survive motorcycle accidents all the time, even without helmets, and then you're invalid.
Yeah.
Or the thing about a full-face motorcycle helmet is it keeps all your teeth in your head.
Ew.
Because it protects your jaw. You don't have that. You go down, imagine losing all your teeth.
Yeah.
So the idea of me worrying about crashing driving the Falcon, a car with no seatbelts and no crash protection, is like, and I do kind of drive that car fast, but I don't take corners fast. I'm always aware of everybody else. So maybe from, over 12 years of riding motorcycles and assuming everybody around me is an idiot and I have to stay out of their danger zone, that it means I drive the Falcon responsibly. And I also don't drive it very far, and I don't drive it when I'm fatigued or upset.
Good plan. Jonathan Bacone, I guess since we've reviewed a sheep and other weird things...
Kazuko98 says the gas lines in second-gen Foresters can have issues when cracking the rubber lines in the engine bay. My 03 X had 5 bad ones I had to replace. Had every issue Goldie had. So when you say gas lines, are you talking about petrol or fuel, or are you talking about evap lines coming from the charcoal canister in the back? And when you say lines, are you referring to rubber lines, which I'm assuming that he says, or there is hard lines that run there too? Oh, he said rubber lines. He means rubber lines.
Yeah. This one, since we've done a sheep, this Jonathan Cone is wondering if we would ever consider doing a gun review, especially with your subtle hints at knowledge of firearms.
Hold that question. Someone else is saying something. I had an evap code for my 04 Forester. I fixed it by resetting the vapor canister. By reseating the vapor canister by the passenger rear wheel, right behind the charcoal canister. I know what you're talking about. No more clearing codes for me now. What do you mean reseating? Did you just take it off and put it back on? Because I can't get it off. It's rusted in place.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Question about guns.
Yeah, if we would ever consider doing guns, a gun review.
Guns have gotten so divisive right now. I don't think it would be received well.
Yeah. Even though
you got to roll with the changes, REO Speedwagon.
Oh, nice. Which, speaking of REO Speedwagon, it reminds me, I don't know if the person is here in this chat, but during the After Dark podcast, someone recommended I watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on Hulu, and it's been an amazing journey so far. And I've just been loving the shit out of it, and it's a great show to watch like 2 or 3 episodes before bed, and then kind of, I don't know, it's
Hold that. Keep talking about that. I need water.
It hits on something that I've been thinking for years, which is that the Bangles' Walk Like an Egyptian is a vaguely sinister song. Like, it sounds vaguely sinister, but it's also like there's a lot of great music in it. Not just references to certain bands, but, you know, there's... I don't know, Roundabout by Yes is a great song, which, I mean, honestly, I didn't know about. So, you know, and yeah, it's a super weird show. So, I mean, I don't think it's the weirdest anime I've seen, but it is pretty freaking weird. But yeah, moving on, Ramen T Hakurai, $5. Thank you,
sir.
What do you think of people installing rear rod extenders on sports bikes that serve no purpose other than just for show? Sure looks nice, but...
What's a rear rod extender? Are you talking about extended swing arms? A rear rod extender. Are they putting wheelie bars on there? What is a rod extender? A rear rod extender. I'm thinking of a tube or a stick. I mean, if he's talking about rear swing arms, the reason you have an extended swing arm is because you drag race the bike. But if you're not drag racing, there's no point to have that there. And if that's the case, it's the motorcycle equivalent of a muscle guy who jacks the rear end of the car up, which I think it looks kind of cool. It's a little bit Mad Max. And even in Mad Max, most of the motorcycles there had extended swing arms as well. It will make the bike a little bit more stable on the highway because you are extending the wheelbase. But again, that's for drag racing applications.
Anton Johansson says, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I've heard that the U.S. doesn't have annual vehicle inspections. Always thought it was weird considering you're the car capital of the world.
Well, if you're talking about federal, you're all right. There is no federal yearly car inspections. It only car safety standards are handled state by state. Some states do have inspections, some don't. Florida does not.
Floratology, thank you for $5.
Thank you.
Asks, do you think car companies will start figuring out how to design cars with beauty in mind again?
Yes.
You reviewed my RS a couple years ago. Still love it.
Oh, so the white one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. They just have to figure out how to design within the parameters, and I think the Kia Stinger is a good example of that. Making a pretty car that is safe. They just need to work their way out. We won't be able to do what we did in the 80s and certainly not the 60s, but the neat thing is those cars still exist. The cars will evolve, and we will find new beauty standards. See also sexy robots.
Paul Burlett says, I'm going to Kutztown for college next year. Any for English ed, any advice?
Yeah, fuck the major. Just audit classes, man. An English major isn't worth the paper it's printed on. What matters is your degree. I'm sorry. What matters is the experience you get within the classes. See, the thing about Kutztown is you're going to be an English major, and they're going to make you take a foreign language, and you're going to have to take gym class, and you're going to have to take all those dumbass gen eds. Like, if I could go back in time, I'd just say, look, I would take classes relevant to what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not. But you see, it's up to your parents. If your parents are footing the bill, or if they're helping you pay off your student loans, you're at a whim to them.
Yeah.
But you know, no one cares about your GPA either.
Not really, no.
No employer does. You want to become a good writer, man. Just start writing. Go down in the student union building and write for the school newspaper. Be a part of Kutztown University Radio. Go talk to Mike Regensberger down there. I mean, if it wasn't for Mike Regensberger and KUR, Kutztown University Radio, RCR wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we learned our diction and even writing and riffing, which is kind of writing, but you would learn programming, so much better stuff. Honestly, dude, you want to be a good writer? Be an electronic media major and just take a whole bunch of writing classes. I don't think electronic media majors have to take foreign language, and their gen ed requirements are less.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are like multiple facets to being a good writer. It's reading good writing, writing even when you don't necessarily want to, is a big thing, because you really can't wait for it to strike. Like, things would never get done if people, were sitting around waiting for inspiration to strike. You got to treat it like a muscle that you can improve. It's almost like people watching is the writerly equivalent of going to the gym.
Yeah.
It's just watch people, look at how they move, what their conversations are, eavesdrop. It's
amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy, and you get to kind of learn about people in a very vague sense. Yeah. But those are the facets to being a good writer, in my experience. But it's just reading good writing and always writing, even when you don't really feel like writing. And get something down. Doesn't matter what it is. Eventually, you will find your voice, and you'll hone it with experience.
Right.
But Steph R, thank you for $5.
Thank you.
Asks, do you think the Kia brand will lose the stigma of eco-box mediocrity soon, or do you think they will just have a couple cool cars?
I think they'll lose their status as long as they keep making good stuff. People are not going to look at a Kia as a compromised vehicle anymore. Oh, he has a Kia. Beginning and end of the conversation.
Yeah, very
They're
nice.
doing the right thing. Thank you.
J. Cole 613, thank you for $5.
Thank you.
Got super chat to work. Thanks for answering. Waiting for the call for you to come review it. Keep up the great work.
Review what?
He mentioned the I forget what it was offhand. The Buick Regal that he was talking about.
If it fits our schedule and gosh, come review my car.
There was a non-super chat question earlier that was like, how often do you guys review cars in your own area? And I'm like, all the time. Because that's like that's the number one way to get your car reviewed is to eliminate the amount of travel time for us.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, kind of like meet us halfway somewhere.
Yeah.
If you can't come to us.
But halfway to Long Island is like deep Jersey.
Yeah. And
thanks for the guy who's driving from Long Island out here with a Tesla Model 3. That's gonna be a good day as long as it doesn't rain.
Anthony McCann, thank you for $10. Please review more lawnmowers.
Was there one stuff before that? I'm sure.
Oh wait, there was one before that.
Screenshot this one.
Yeah. So my friend got an 80. Oh, this is from Brendan J. $5. So my friend got an 84 F250 with a 6.9 diesel with a 3-speed auto with no OD. He wants to get 7.3 TDI with a 5-speed manual, but I say preserve the 6.9.
To what end? Preserve? It's a truck. What vehicle is it again?
It's the 84 F250.
Yeah, that's an old truck. Preserve it. Look, if he doesn't need it, and what does he want to do?
Let's see. He wants to get the 7.3 TDI with a 5-speed manual, but I say preserve the 6.9.
7.3 TDI
with a 5-speed manual.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he has a 3-speed auto now.
Yeah, that's just gonna eat gas.
Yeah,
he'd get better mileage just with that overdrive.
So
most people ditch those 3 speeds anyway.
Anthony McCann, thank you for $10. Please review more lawnmowers. He says.
If I go back up to Justin Kramer, he has more stuff. He has nice vintage stuff. Sorry for hitting the mic.
No, Fat Mac, $5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, love your content. First episode I saw was the New Yorker. Had a 92 in baby blue as a first car for $200.
Nice.
Best faux luxury 90s car ever.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. It's a
cheaper the better.
Larsh the Casual Mech Warrior, $5. Thank you so much. And just reseated the electronic connection. Mine is also very much stuck and is hard to remove the whole device. My 04 Forester XT runs well again in PGH.
Pittsburgh, I think that's what.
All right,
maybe. Just reseated the electronic connection. Okay, how do I get that connection in and out? Maybe, okay, if I can do that, I have wire cleaner. I can just pop that thing off and turn it back on again. I put my Forester XT into diagnostic mode and blew through that you're talking about the purge valve, right, in the way back, and it worked. It wasn't leaking through it, so I'm thinking the problem's up in the front. But if it's as simple as popping that connector out and popping it back in, I hate those stupid connectors that I don't know if I'm supposed to push up or pull out before I can pull the connector apart. I always end up breaking them.
Claudio Bizama asks, next regular animal review soon? The reason I wanted to answer was that, like, I was in Richmond, Virginia about 3 weeks ago, and I was planning to review a horse, but it got like sweltering hot, and these are horses on the older end of things, so it was a pretty bad idea. So when I go back there in the fall, because I normally visit my friend Kat every 6 months and hang out with her and her horses and her bike loving boyfriend Joel, who's awesome, and her friend Mike, anyway, sorry, I'm just shouting out people now. I'll probably get like the footage then, but I just really wanted to do a horse at some point. But yeah. Will Robertson, $5. Thank you. You gotta come to Vancouver, dude. Prettiest city in North America, in my opinion. Lots of unique JDM imports as well.
That, if I could arrange, I'd like to. I don't know when. It'd be fun. Somebody sent me an email that there is an express pass for the American-Canadian border. It's probably the same thing as TSA pre for airlines. We probably have to go somewhere. They ask us, are you a terrorist? No. Here, pay $60, and then they'll treat you nice at the border. Yeah. One of those things. So we're going to do that. That'll help. Also, after Ford Nationals, I learned that we can't take the Falcon to Canada because I spent $30 in fuel going there and back to Carlisle. Damn. That thing just chews through gas.
Yeah, it really does. Well, I mean, we
went through a full 10 gallons just to drive out to Carlisle and back. So yeah, it'd definitely be the Forester or whatever daily I'm driving for the Canada trip.
Yeah,
make filming easier, honestly. But
so yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like other things that happened over the week.
Did we get all the super chat questions?
Yep, all those super snap questions got.
All right.
Oh wait. Yeah. I'm just going up. Yeah, that was all of them.
Cool.
It's kind of wait a minute. 9 Cards of Beauty of Mine. Yeah, got that one. It's funny. I was watching UFC over the weekend, and just highlights after the fact. And there was a Yoel Romero Robert Whittaker fight that was literally just two men throwing bombs and trying to kill each other, and it was amazing. And Whittaker broke his hand during the fight in the third round, and it still went the distance. Like, that man is, I mean, if he were in Stipe's weight class, but nah, because then, like, if you're getting up in weight class to kind of meet now you have more muscle and you have less, like, it's gonna fuck with your cardio. Seriously. And like, I also watched one of my favorite wrestlers, CM Punk, get completely obliterated by a complete tomato can, because Punk himself is kind of a tomato can. Yeah. Like, he doesn't really, like, he spent 4 years training under Duke Rufus, and he looked like a white belt out there getting his, like, shit pushed in. It was like the saddest thing you've ever seen in your life.
There's some wrestler that shows up at my gym from time to time at the Racquetball Club, and I didn't know him other than he was the huge dude, or rather the new huge dude. And Dante said, oh yeah, that's a guy who used to wrestle for a little bit. And I forget who it is, so right now I am checking Facebook Messenger to find out who this guy is or was. Man. And if you know anything about him or what his stage name is, something. I can't pronounce this last name.
Oh, that's Gene Snitsky. Yeah. Oh, the one who accidentally caused Kane's baby to get aborted. Because he hit Kane in the back with a steel chair. He fell on the girl that he basically blackmailed into sleeping with him and got her pregnant. And this is during, like, a super messed up period in WWE.
Is that early 2000s?
Yeah, it was like 2004. And so let me see that.
Why do you want a DR650 over Honda XR650L? Because I was loyal to brands. I kind of wanted I wanted an XR650L for a while, and then I'm like, I'll try the Suzuki DR650, and it was a toss up between the two, and I found a DR650 over the Honda Big Red Pig XR650L because they said the DR650 is a little bit better for daily driving on the street, and that's what I use it for.
Yeah. Oh, Snitsky. Okay, so he is from this place, and the only reason I know where it is because in the video games he's listed as being from Nusquehoning, PA.
Nusquehoning.
I never heard of it other than this. Titan Ravenscar, thank you for $2.
And no question. Thank you,
Snitsky, he okay, so Kane blackmails this girl to sleep with him so that he'll stop beating up her boyfriend Matt Hardy. And anyway, they sleep together and she gets pregnant with his child, and I guess she doesn't believe in abortion anyway. So anyway, during a match, Gene Snitsky hits Kane in the back with a steel chair. Kane falls on top of Lita, the girl, and it causes her to miscarry the kid, which, I mean, I don't think like anyone really watches wrestling don't put in weird things. And this is kind of like a Jim Cornette line of like, why would you put miscarriage storylines into a wrestling thing? It's escapist entertainment. People don't want to be reminded of that stuff. But anyway, he started going around telling people that it wasn't his fault. So his catchphrase becomes, "It's not my fault." And so it's just this funny thing where he ended up coming face to face with this guy named Heidenreich. Okay. And Heidenreich he said like, I like, whatever something. And Snitsky was like, I like kicking babies, because because his joke thing was like, he was bragging to Kane about how like, I guess he caused her to miscarry. Again, super messed up period in pro wrestling, but I think he like takes this doll baby and like drop kicks it into the audience, and it's just is
this the Attitude Era? Or
no, this is like the Ruthless Aggression era, which came right after the Attitude Era, where everything sucked. And Triple H's reign of terror was never ending. Let's see. Crichton Miller, thank you for $5. I'd love an irregular sport review. What fringe sport would either of you choose?
It's arena football.
Is that still a thing?
Right? Because I was having this conversation with Tom at the Applebee's. Oh, I have an Applebee's. Okay, the exclamation guy shirt. We're having this talk about, do you know anybody who cares about arena football? Was this random question I asked Tom. And
John Bon Jovi. That's the only person I know.
What team
he owns like our Philadelphia team.
Okay.
I think. Anyway, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, arena football. It's like the rules are different, and it's on AstroTurf, and it's all indoors, and there's no real out of bounds, so you can't really run. You can't like do that super hard run out of bounds and then crash into your teammate sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then a round of butt pats. For all.
Yeah.
First down. So yeah, it like, all right, arena football. It's like football for, guys who claiming their heads are okay, or well, you played in college. Arena football. Well, you played in college.
Yeah.
So I gotta pull up this photo of this guy who walked into the Applebee's before we watched Solo. For those listening in audio, I will describe it and then show the picture to Nick, and then I'll hold it up to the camera. I'll probably just post these pictures to Twitter after this. Arena football for when you're afraid of snow. Yeah. Live streams are like a telethon mixed with the world's worst Q&A session. Oh, sorry, JB Bose. Sorry you feel that way. I mean, well, what? Should I not answer questions? Or,
yeah,
I mean, we thank people for donating. I'm sorry if it makes you feel like we shouldn't be doing this. I mean, we can turn it off and do like a real podcast if you want. I mean, it would be neat if we find a different way to just save all the super chats. Like we could just have a normal podcast in the beginning, and then we'd save them all, and then just get into them after like 20 minutes or something like that. Is your laptop sitting on a soft surface? It may be thermal throttling and causing lag. Yeah, how hot is this laptop? It's no, it's not. It's sitting on a plastic organizer box, and in fact, it's teeter-tottering a little bit. So there's definitely air getting under this. So okay, at the Applebee's, in walks a man wearing a black dinner jacket.
Black dinner jacket.
Onto the shoulders and sleeves are sequined and no, I'm sorry. Yes, there is a fully sequined and bejeweled silver exclamation point on both shoulders, like patches for a weird army, and then an even larger exclamation point appearing down the entire back of the dinner jacket. Nick is looking at this. Oh my god,
this is like something a pro wrestling manager from the 1980s, like something Jimmy Hart would wear, like the mouth of the South.
It is a black dinner jacket, a black suit jacket with gigantic single exclamation point, one on each shoulder of the jacket, and then a big one down the back, like the entire spine. It's an exclamation point. Now, what does this guy do at the Applebee's? In what technically it's not Reading in King of Prussia, or not King of Prussia Mall, Fairground Square.
No, that's Reading.
That's Reading.
Well, I mean, like it's Muhlenberg, but it's like still technically like in the same way that like Exeter is still technically Reading,
right?
You know.
Okay. So what does a guy wearing a sequin exclamation jacket do at an Applebee's next to a dying mall? Well, he goes up to tables where people are having dinner and starts doing magic for them.
Ow, for crying out loud.
Which meant he was hired to do this. Or he's going in here and hustling and hoping to get tips. He didn't. Tom and I were sitting at the bar, and this picture I'm showing is Dad Bod Dad, two wiggling preteens, and one older teenager who could be late high school or early college.
Yeah.
And they're just going out having dinner. So he pulls out some oversized playing cards and does some sort of card trick. And then he makes balloon animal swords and hands it to the kids. And then the picture I showed you where you could see his jacket was afterwards. He talked to the hostess for a good 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Don't know if he was saying, do I get payment here or what?
Oh, I thought he was trying to put it down.
Well,
maybe.
So,
JB Boast, who was mentioning about it, he just wanted to follow up saying that, he was just bitching, ignore me. It's still entertaining.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, cheers.
Camera Bird, thanks for $4. If a 1987 town car would be a smell, what would it be? It'd be Uncle Never Showers smell. And he always wants a bring it here.
Yeah.
Is that how he asks for a hug?
Bring it in.
Oh.
And it goes on just a smidge too long.
Right. Well, we're coming up on an hour, 45 minutes. Normally with the super chat, I'm inclined to keep it going.
But it's such a gorgeous day.
It is. I got to get out there and ride. I got the itch, man.
All right,
hey,
I guess
maybe he's a quest giver.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. that comment.
But I wanted to say sassy stuff to that guy, but he's got to take it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really
is this your hustle? How does this work for you, man?
That takes a lot of balls to be able to just go up to people cold and start performing, and that's why I have a lot of respect for people who busk, who are just on the street playing music or even any kind of performance. It could be poetry. I went to an open mic last night. One of my friends, Chris, he does fantastic spoken word poems. And poems are spoken word. But anyway, long story short, it's the amount of stones that it takes to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
But don't make it, don't, I almost want to say, like, don't make it easy by wearing that jacket. Like, don't invite it, of just, you know, go there, do your thing, but don't be like what Matthew Lesko with dressed like the Riddler.
He can do that, but that was in the day where you could just buy infomercial time on television.
Yeah. But
do you want to make money? Oh, you dickhead! You know?
He is too white. Like, he's the white version of Everest College commercials, where he's there to, like, make you feel bad about the choices you have or haven't made in your life, and wants you to get up off the couch, and he's kind of passive aggressively making fun of you for it.
Yeah.
So
BBI Productions says, scratch that X, go for a rip. Yeah, right. I'm gonna. All right.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us for RCR Podcast 34, I want to say.
Yeah, we're getting up there. Thank you to everybody who donates through Patreon. You're helping us act like a channel much bigger than we are, and also fueling our travel budget for the following seasons, including going to Chicago next month. So, how all the gear all the time are you? Regular. I got my full face helmet. I have got my gloves. I have an armored jacket. I'm not always all the gear all the time with my pants. I have some overpants. I need like vented ones or something like that. I tend to ride in synthetic pants, which I know is a no-no, but I at least have shoes that cover my ankle. So I'm all the gear all the time, almost except for my legs. You know, you kind of need those things. But I'll accept the scars if they happen.
All right. Well, yeah. He's gonna go riding. I'm gonna upload this right up to the Shout Engine so that people can sort of download it, take it on the road to the gym with them anywhere.
James Steele. We got a late
one
coming. Thanks for $20, man.
Thank you so much.
There's a Bojangles in Reading, PA. Yeah, it was probably next to that.
Yeah, it was across the street from the Applebee's.
Grab a breakfast biscuits on me. Thanks for the content. It's good entertainment. You believe I've never been to a Bojangles?
You can get like 5 breakfast biscuits for $20 at Bojangles. It's good.
$20 will buy many peanuts.
It's good, but you explain how money can be exchanged for goods and services. Now, Bojangles is awesome, but you will absolutely hate yourself afterwards.
Really?
And your toilet will hate you too. Just because it's like that South Park where Cartman eats all the skin off of the KFC chicken and goes home and destroys the toilet, and they have to order a new toilet, and everyone's ignoring him, and he thinks he's died, and because he sees them carrying out the toilet, and I don't know. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining us. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
And thank you everyone for the super chat, and even the people who didn't donate. We just are glad you're with us. So have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Great week.
Bye. How do I turn this off?